Hi, this is Kristina with Rockingham Media, and we are live on Hot Country 97.9 with Jaret Ray Reddick. Hi, Jaret.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going really well. It is so super hot here. Is it hot where you're at?
I'm in Prosper, Texas, and it is so hot. Like, there's a guy outside working on my fence right now, and he keeps wanting to ask me stuff, and I told him to stop coming and getting me. He can just text me.
Well, we have the county fair here this week, and I rode in the parade last night, and I'm like 100 degrees in the back of a pickup. No bueno. It was hot.
Man, I feel you. We had 2 shows last week, and both were outdoors, and I've got another outdoor show this coming weekend, and so I don't really know why, in Texas we just want to punish people like that, but apparently it's never going away.
It does seem kind of like a punishment. I'm sorry.
It does.
I mean, does sweat at least look attractive on you? Because it doesn't look attractive on me.
It does not. No, that's the reason. You know what? Here's a bit of a tidbit for you. The reason why artists only let photographers take pictures of them for the first 3 songs is because none of us look good sweaty.
Oh my goodness! I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I'm going to tell everybody that they can't take pictures after the first 3 songs.
That's what you should do.
Right? If I'm at the concert, and I've had a couple beers, then you know what I mean. Then it's never later in the night.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the thing. Let me get a selfie. If you want a selfie, even with your friends, you got to tell them, like, okay, but first 3 songs.
Right. When I still look good, we can take selfies. After that, nope, not happening. All right. Well, Jaret, tell us a little bit about you and about your history. And for people who don't know who you are, tell us about your pop rock band and then how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, so I'm in a band called Bowling for Soup, still to this day, going strong. We had a bunch of hits in the 2000s, 1985, Almost, High School Never Ends, and a few more. And as I said, we're still going strong, but I've always been a guy who likes to keep busy. So I am also a voice actor. I've had a bunch of other bands on the side throughout the years, and I've always wanted to do a country record. And so when the pandemic hit, I spent the first year playing a lot of online shows, like pretty much like everybody did. Mm-hmm. And then we made a new Bowling for Soup album. And, I went into that second year, and I'm like, what am I doing now? And it really afforded me to finally just buckle down with my buddy Zach Malloy and make this country record. And it came out about a year ago. It's called Just Woke Up. And I'm on my 3rd single, my 3rd top 30. And it's just going really well. I've got a full band, and we're rolling around, playing all over Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Colorado, and, just having a ball.
It's so awesome. That's so awesome. You are such a talented man.
Well, that means a lot. I feel like I just surround myself with the right people.
No, you have to have some talent. I don't care how you surround yourself. I mean, you have to be kind of a talented person. It's not like it just rubs off on you. You know what I mean?
My thing is that I'm a really interesting sort of musician because I am in music and everything. I'm sort of the way that I am with recording and things like that. Like, I'm an educated drummer, but on guitar, which I play in both my bands, I'm self-taught, and I just learned just enough to do what it is I want to do. And the same is true with songwriting and all of that. I keep it all very tight into, like, I don't really need to know any more than I need to know. I don't fill my brain up with a lot of wacky chords or, any of that stuff. And I like to listen to those kind of things sometimes, but it's just, I like to keep things really simple.
I always feel like, and this is terrible, but I'm like, the reason I can't retain any new information is because my brain is full of old information, like song lyrics from the 90s and 2000s.
I know. It's so true. And, it's because, I think about this all the time. It's like with sports, for example. Like, when I was a kid, I knew every single person's name on the football field, on the basketball court, on the baseball, all that.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't really watch that much more sports than I do now. I don't watch a lot, but I watch a little. And now I can't name anybody, even on my favorite teams. I don't know who anybody is, and I wonder if that is sort of like, okay, well, we're at capacity on learning sports figure names.
Yeah, I think we should probably warn the young people, like, stop filling your brain full of useless information because you're going to need that space.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just it, right? Like, just your hard drive is just full.
And you can't dump it.
I wish we could do a dump.
Exactly.
All of the useless stuff that I know.
Exactly. I'm like, I can't remember what I did yesterday, but you put on like Salt and Pepper Soup and I can sing the whole thing.
But you know what's fun, though, about knowing useless stuff is it's fun at parties, because like you'll just, spout something out or whatever. Or like for me, I used to build houses, and so like I don't use any of that anymore. Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, somebody will have just some weird issue with something in their house, and I'll be like, oh, I can fix that. And they're like, what? How is that possible?
Who are you?
Yeah. You're Chuck E. Cheese. Why are you fixing my sink?
Right. And speaking, yes, you are Chuck E. Cheese, and probably I didn't know that. And so, I mean, I knew that when I started looking into more of what you do, of course, and getting ready for this interview. But how do you even land a role like being Chuck E. Cheese?
So I did improv comedy for a while. I'm a theater kid, and so there was a time many moons ago, 12, 15 years ago, where I was just, sort of scratching that itch, doing some improv comedy, and so the guys that got the new account for Chuck E. Cheese were here in Dallas, a big advertising firm, and they were rebranding him into a rock star. And the two fellows that had the account saw me do improv comedy, and they were like, "Oh my God, that's the guy from Bowling for Soup." And so they knew I could sing, and then now they've seen the flexibility that I could do with my voice. And honestly, I never even auditioned for it. I mean, as odd as that sounds, it's such a huge deal. And still, 11 years later, I'm still the mouse, and it's my favorite job.
Really?
And it's this huge nostalgic thing, but I never even auditioned. They literally just put together a reel of me talking in interviews and then me singing, and pitched me. And they were like, "Yeah, go get the guy." And here I am. It's like 11 years later, and if he's wishing you a happy birthday when you're there at that restaurant, or you hear him talking on television, that's me.
That is you. Now, have you ever actually dressed up in the outfit and went to a Chuck E. Cheese?
So everybody asked that, and so there's two things that I want to say. First of all, I had that put in my contract that I'd never have to.
That you never have to.
But can you imagine how that smells? But my wife's stepmom, my wife's much younger than me. She's 18 years younger than me, and when we were just going out, I was going over to meet her parents, and her stepmom said, "Man, I get it. He's older. I don't really have a problem with that, but, he works at Chuck E. Cheese." and she's like, "What is he, in the suit?" And my wife is like, no, he is Chuck E. Cheese. So, no, I have not put that stinky thing on.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to either. Now, for fun, maybe sometime you could just say, get me a brand new suit.
Right.
And then don't tell anybody.
The thing that it is, too, is like the kids that put that thing on are, like, they're into it, and they mean it. And it seems really hard to do. Like, they have to do these crazy dances and all this stuff, and it's like, I don't think that's an easy job. It'd be like being a mascot for a team. I mean, that looks hot and just, I'm too old for that.
Right? You just don't have that much energy. Is that what you're saying? You have other things to do. You keep so busy doing everything with what, you do a lot of social media stuff. You've got podcasts, you've got Bowling for Soup, and now you have your country album out, and you do, what is it, Phineas and Ferb's?
Yes, Phineas and Ferb. Well, unfortunately, that show ended. It is coming back, and I do know that my character on Phineas and Ferb is going to be back, but I don't know how much music I'll be able to do. But on the original, I did the theme song, and I wrote a bunch of music with them, and then I played Danny, the singer for Love Handle, who I am told will be on the reboot as well. So I look forward to that. But yeah, idle time is not my friend. I like to stay busy. Music, all of this is my hobby, as well as how I make a living. And I'm just so lucky in that regard. I guess it's sort of like, I guess it's sort of like a golfer, if he's going out and playing golf on a weekend that he doesn't have a tournament, you're just like, why are you doing that? And he's like, well, this is what I like to do. And that's me. I don't play video games, and I don't really,
right.
I don't whittle,
Right.
and I play golf 4 times a year. And, this is just, I spend time with my family, and I make music, and I create
right.
things on the internet.
Right.
And that's what I love doing.
And if you love what you do, it's not work.
Exactly. And that's the cool thing. I spent several years doing things that I didn't like, and that just made it more of it makes me more thankful to look back on the last 30 years of being in Bowling for Soup, and I just appreciate the fact that people still come to see us. We have a tour coming up for Bowling for Soup in the fall, and the shows are already selling out, and it's
That's
just
awesome.
it's just amazing to me that we could still be doing this. And then as you said, the country thing is going really, really well. Everybody has been very accepting of me, and just got nominated for Emerging Artist of the Year down here for the Texas Country Awards.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I know, right? So it's just things are just good.
Yeah, we'll talk about your newest release, Royal Family.
Royal Family, easily, the most special song to me on the record. There's a lot of autobiographical stuff in it, but what I love about the song is that people continually, I mean, even, I'm doing interviews all day today, and it's just been, so many people saying, oh man, this song, like after you hear it a few times, you start to relate to it, and you're like, oh my God, this is not just him, it's me. And, but it's about, you can get on 23andMe and figure out who you're related to, but who you're related to isn't necessarily your family. Your family is those who hold you close, and those who you hold close. And more importantly, in 2023, I've not said this before, but I need to start saying this more. I think your family are those that build you up, and I think in the times that we live right now, we just don't build each other up enough. And I think those that do that for you, and who are your biggest fans, and who you're their biggest fan,
Right.
That's your family.
That's the cheerleader. Those people cheering you on.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that do want.
Those are the people that you need around you. I mean, life is hard, and it doesn't matter who you are, or how much money you have, or how much you love your job. It's every day can be a challenge, and I speak a lot about mental health, and and those things, and so I think it's just very important for us all to make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with people that we love and that love us, and that's what this song is about.
I think that's wonderful. I think it's beautiful that you say that, and I couldn't agree more. I always say I'm so lucky to have the cheerleaders in the corner that I do, that I do have. And if you're not cheering me on, then, I don't really need to make space for you, because I'll be cheering you on just as hard.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the thing. The thing about me is I'm everybody's biggest fan, and I love seeing people win. And,
right.
I think that's how we should all be, even in the same industry. I feel like, and musicians ask me this all the time, like, do you get jealous when somebody else gets an opportunity? And I'm like, no, I think it's amazing when people get great opportunities. And I think it's good for other musicians when somebody's out there doing something great, and so, yeah, but Royal Family is a real important song to me.
Well, gosh, you just seem like such a cool guy. And I love that. I love that you cheer people on and that you're happy for others. And that's how we all should be. It shouldn't be a competition, in any aspects of our lives, no matter what you're doing, you just want to be happy other people are succeeding, and treat people the way you'd want to be treated when you're succeeding.
I totally agree. Absolutely. Isn't that the thing though, right? Like, do unto others, right? It just kind of all goes back
It
to
is. For sure.
goes back to common sense, right?
For
And
sure. For sure.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, anything else you want to share with us? Gosh, it just went so fast for me visiting with you today. And, but you know, is there anything else you want to share with our listeners up here in the northwestern Kansas area?
Well, I'm out there playing shows. I'm actually planning some stuff out there in the spring right now. So follow me everywhere on social media. JaretRayReddick.com is where you'll find all of my tour dates, merch, and all that stuff. And you know, it's and my music is everywhere. You know, go wherever you get music, and you're gonna find me there, Jaret Ray Reddick. Make sure you put the Ray in, because as the singer for Bowling for Soup, I've featured on a lot of stuff. So if you don't put the Ray, you can get into rap and heavy metal and, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff, which is a fun exploration.
Sure.
But,
so
I'd really love all y'all to
you kind of
listen
go
to
like
country
country, you got to put the Ray in there.
That's right. You got to put the Ray.
For the country part of Jaret Ray.
For the country. Yeah, it's so funny being Jaret Ray Reddick now, because I used to only hear that when my mom was mad at me.
Oh,
you know?
that's how I always knew my mom was mad, is if she used my middle name, whoo, I was in trouble.
That's what happens.
Well, you're not in trouble now when people say it, right?
No, now it's just like, oh, it's Jaret Ray Reddick. But now what the weird thing is I don't, you know, like, if I'm in Bowling for Soup, like, am I Jaret? What am I? So I don't know. Anyway, I just basically just say Jaret Ray Reddick all the time now, and that's who I am.
Right. Well, we appreciate you, Jaret Ray Reddick, and I look forward to everything that you have coming in your future, you busy guy. And I enjoyed visiting with you, and we wish you the very best of luck in your country adventures, and of course with Bowling for Soup, and in everything else that you do. You know, you're listening to Rockingham Media Northwest Kansas Radio. I'm Kristina, and I just finished up talking to Jaret Ray Reddick.
Thanks, Kristina.
All right.